my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making something really delicious, crispy and absolutely satisfying. Homemade vegetable spring roll from scratch. These spring rolls are beautifully golden and crunchy on the outside while the inside is filled with a deliciously seasoned vegetable filling. And the best part is that we are not using store-bought wrappers today. I'm going to show you how I make the wrappers myself, prepare the filling, wrap everything nicely and fry them until they are perfectly golden and crispy. If you love crispy snacks, appetizers or simple homemade recipes, then you definitely want to stay until the end because this turned out so good. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the recipe and make these delicious vegetable spring rolls together. First, I'm starting with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To the flour, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Using my fingertips, I'm going to mix everything together very well. I want the oil to coat the flour properly before adding any water. You will notice that the mixture starts looking a little bit like wet sand. That's exactly what we are looking for at this stage. When you take some in your hand and press it together, it should hold slightly before breaking apart. Now I'm gradually adding about 150 ml of water. Please don't add all the water at once. Add it little by little while mixing because the amount of water you need can vary slightly depending on your flour. We are looking for a dough that comes together nicely without becoming too soft or sticky. I'll continue mixing until everything starts forming into a dough. Once the dough has come together, I'm kneading it until the dough becomes smooth and soft. And if you're still watching, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video, please. Now that the dough is nice and smooth, I'm going to cover it and let it rest for about 10 minutes. Now that our dough is resting, let's prepare our filling. I start by adding little vegetable oil to my pan over medium heat. Then I'm adding my sliced onion. I will saute the onion for a few seconds until it becomes soft and fragrant. You already know that when the onion starts cooking, that aroma immediately tells you something delicious is coming. Next, I'm adding my 2 large carrots which I grated using a grater. Now I'm adding my seasoned cubes, some curry powder, a little chili, oregano and just a little salt. You can always adjust the seasoning according to your own taste. I'm mixing everything together really well so that all those lovely spices can coat the vegetable. Now I will allow the vegetable to cook for a little while. We don't want the carrots completely mushy. We just want them to become slightly soft while still keeping some of their texture. And look at that, the vegetables are coming together beautifully and the color already looks so appetizing. I'll continue stirring and cooking until the filling is nicely seasoned and cooked through. Once everything is ready, I will take it off the heat and allow the filling to cool slightly before start wrapping. Now our filling is ready and our dough has had enough time to rest. So let's get back to our dough and start preparing for our wrappers. I'm dividing the dough into about 7 equal portions. Try to make them as even as possible so that the wrappers will be fairly similar in size. I'm taking one piece at a time and rolling it out, making sure I roll it into a thin round shape. We want the wrapper to be very thin enough to give us that lovely crispy texture after frying. Once I have my round, I'm cutting it straight through the middle. This gives me 2 pieces from one round and each piece can be used to make one spring roll. Now I'm taking one of the cut pieces and getting ready to add my filling. I'm placing some of the vegetable filling along the straight edge where I made the cuts. Try not to add too much filling. It can be tempting to fill it up, but using a moderate amount can make the spring roll much easier to roll and seal it properly. Now I'm using a simple flour paste made from flour and water. I'm applying the paste around the edges. This helps seal and keep everything nicely together while frying. Next, I'm folding the side inward over the filling. And now I will start rolling it tightly from the fill edge toward the rounded end. Once I reach the end, I will seal it properly with the flour paste. And our first homemade vegetable spring roll is ready. And I will continue doing exactly the same thing with the remaining wrappers and filling. Take your time with this part. Once you get the first few, the rest become much easier and faster. If you are enjoying this recipe so far, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, please. Now we have all our spring rolls nicely wrapped and ready to fry. I'm heating my oil over medium heat. Now I'm carefully placing the spring rolls into the hot oil. I'm frying them in batches because I don't want to overcrowd the pan. When you overcrowd the pan, the temperature of the oil can drop and that can affect how crispy your spring roll become. And also giving them enough space to move around and fry properly. After a little while, I'm gently turning them with a fork so that they can brown evenly on all sides. And look at that beautiful golden color. This is exactly what we want: golden, crispy, and evenly fried. Once they reach this lovely golden brown color, I'll carefully remove them from the oil and allow the excess oil to drain. And then we will continue frying the remaining batches. If you are still here with me, thank you so much for watching this recipe all the way through. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is your little reminder to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave me a comment too. And finally, all our vegetable spring rolls are beautifully fried. Just look how golden and crispy they are. They look so good, and you can already imagine that crunch when you bite into one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for support, and thank you so much for staying with me until the end. I truly appreciate every one of you. See you in my next video. Bye bye.